right. So yeah, I think we are live right now. Samuel, Fega is here. I don't know if Fega can actually join us. And yeah, hello, Chris. Chris, if you can actually hear us, I think you can unmute yourself and speak. Um,
All right,
I'll
I can hear
do.
you. I can hear you.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. So I'm going to do like a quick introduction and we'll just proceed. So this session is actually going to be like, brainstorming, right? Completely brainstorming session. We have Amaka joined us. We're still expecting Bobby. We're expecting Steve, right? So I'll do like an introduction from my end, but of course, when I invite you, you can also just tell us about yourself. Yeah. So all right. So how many people do we have watching from? Okay, so I think we have someone watching from Techie's Garage. Maybe we need to drop. We need to do some, you know, announcements on the servers. Samuel, if you can assist me with this, probably using your mobile, just drop a message on the Top Universe server. Yeah. Let me also share. I'll drop a message for my moderators, and yeah, I'm doing that right now. Drop a message. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're going to be doing like a simple, brainstorming session. It's going to be interactive. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. I believe so. Funny enough, right? I didn't even come up with this topic, right? Initially, I just communicated with Samuel that we are going to be doing, like a brainstorming session slash system design, session regarding a gift card platform, right? A gift card platform. So a gift card exchange platform. We haven't thought about this, right? We don't currently have any system designed before this call. So we are going to even try to understand what a gift card exchange platform is, and how it works, right? So it's going to be really interactive. If you're currently on the stream, go ahead and drop a message in the chat. Let's see those that are watching. Okay. So I can see we have someone on Techie's Garage server, on the Techie's Garage YouTube channel. Just go ahead and drop a message. So I have Amaka currently on the stage with me. I have Samuel. I have Chris Fega. Most of you know Samuel. Samuel is a product designer. And yeah, I'm just going to keep it, minimal from my end, and I'll have you do your own introduction. Amaka is a UX, researcher, and I've been working with Samuel and Amaka for a while now. I think Amaka just left the stage, but hopefully she'll be back soon. Chris Fega, I've known Chris Fega for quite some time. An engineer, product manager. He's an amazing guy. He's an amazing guy, senior guy out there. So yeah, so these guys are um, amazing people doing amazing stuff. So I'm going to invite you. So Chris, just do like a very quick introduction, and Samuel will do the same. All right. So Chris, you can unmute yourself.
Okay,
Hi,
thank
Chris.
you. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Sure. 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 We can hear you. We can hear you. The background is a bit noisy, but we can hear you.
Yeah. I just want. I think maybe the next person should just do an introduction. I'm currently working. I'll get to where I'm going in
Oh.
just 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, no problem. All right. So Samuel, yeah, Samuel.
Yeah. Hi, Mo. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
So
All
yeah, my
right.
name
So
is. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. So my name is. Good day, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Samuel. I'm a product designer, and yes, this is not something we've worked on before, and really, really excited to see what we can create together.
Awesome. Yeah. So excited to see what we can create together in the next 1 hour. Yeah. So Amaka is not here, and I think Steve is not here yet. So maybe we can just kick off with this from our end. By the way, if you're currently
Yeah.
watching the screen, please go ahead and drop a message. And yeah, we're going to start brainstorming already. Okay, so Samuel, I'm going to share my screen, and while we're having this conversation, I'll be dropping messages. I'll be dropping some of those notes, right, um, in the text editor here. So let me do that right now. I'm currently sharing, so I'm going to share Obsidian. Right, let's see. Okay, Samuel, I'm sure you can see my screen, correct?
Yes, I can. Yes, correct.
Okay, okay, good. All right, so let's talk about this. So a gift card exchange platform. I mean, just let me know your thoughts, right? What do you think this such platforms should do? You know, what ideas are coming to your head right now, Samuel?
Okay, so first, gift card is usually people have gift card and they want to exchange it for cash, and
Yeah.
platforms exist to help people to convert that gift card to cash. So the platform becomes an exchange. So helping people taking the gift card from people and giving them cash in return. Then the platform finds a way to retrieve, recover the their money from the platforms
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. I think that's really something to think
platform like
about.
this
So,
does. And so yeah, yeah.
okay, so sorry, I think there was kind of like a network glitch, so I didn't know you were still talking. Sorry about that. But you're right. So, we're looking for a way to take the gift cards from these people and then, give them the cash in return. But I think what's the purpose of even having a gift card in the first place?
Well, I want. Well, the purpose would be to be able to get the value out of the card, of course. So usually gift cards are meant to be retrieved for to get a particular item from a particular designated place where you got the gift card from. So you can take your gift card and use it to
Okay, so I don't know why. I think there's something wrong with the network. Samuel, so it keeps going off. Samuel, are you there? Okay, so I think there's something wrong with I don't know, Samuel's network. Yeah, I think Amaka just joined. So let's see. Samuel, can you hear me now? Yes, Samuel, I think you're back.
Um,
Amaka.
oh, okay.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
here now. Good evening, Mav.
yeah, yeah. Good evening. So, Amaka, have you used the gift card exchange before, like an exchange platform or something? Yeah. Hello, Amaka. Can you hear me?
Yes, I have. I have used one. I don't know if you can hear me. Feels like my network is breaking up pretty bad.
Oh, okay. So I think I also lost a marker there. All right. So maybe I'll take it up from here. Um, yeah. So I think in the first place, I think one of the major questions we would want to understand is, what exactly is the purpose of, the gift card. All right. I think that is very important. We should understand the purpose of a gift card before we even try to think about building a platform around that. We're trying to work with an assumption here. An assumption here is that, okay, a customer or a client is actually meeting up with you, a platform builder, right, a developer, and they're saying, oh, we actually want you to build a gift card platform. So these are the necessary questions you need to even understand, right? What exactly is a gift card? If you don't have an idea what a gift card is, I think you first need to understand what a gift card is, before you even dive into building something around that. So from my quick googling, I just figured out that, okay, a gift card is a prepaid card that holds a certain monetary value, typically issued by a retailer or a specific brand. Okay, and it works like a digital or physical form of currency. All right, and the primary purpose is to be used as an alternative to cash, right, for purchases at the issuing retailer or affiliated establishment. So I think I understand what this is, right? So I'm going to take down some of these notes. So this is exactly what a gift card is. Okay, so And this is going to answer the question we have here, which says, what is a gift card? All right, so now that makes sense. The next question here would be, okay, so why do people even, get, these gift cards, right? What exactly is the motivation, right? What is the reason behind getting a gift card? Are they actually getting like some kind of extra value, right? I mean, why do you want to get a gift card? Why not just do like monetary transfer? Just transfer the cash to the person. So I think it's a way to gift people some item with monetary value, right? When it's converted, or should I say when it's swapped, through an affiliate establishment, right? Or a retailer, I guess. So yeah, so I think they actually get gift cards for purchases, because when you come with a gift card, you can actually get something quite cheaper, right? So I think that is one of the major reasons. So I'm going to say these are some of the reasons why people are getting this, gift cards. First of all, for I would say discounted purchases, right? That makes sense, you know. Then yeah, I think this can also, I can also say, balance deduction to make it same. Uh, yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, it's discounted, of course. So which means if you get to a shop and a particular item is sold for a certain amount of money, we're looking at getting that same item, probably less the price, right? And that makes sense, right? And some retailers use it for promotions, right? So I'm going to say retailer promotions, right? Which also makes sense. And yeah, let's just say giving gifts, right? And I'm currently looking at this via a Google search. So giving gifts, okay, that is also interesting to know. Um, yeah, so I'm also seeing fundraising and donations, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I'm just going to take that down. So for fundraising and donation, and I can also see for cashless transaction, yeah, which can be a secure alternative instead of carrying cash. But I believe that if someone should understand, the worth of that gift card, then yeah, you can also be, I don't know, should I say robbed or something? But yeah, so cashless transactions, and I would simply put this down: marketing and promotions at the end of the day. So let's see, we have some other people on the stage. Let me try to add. I think Samuel is here again. Samuel, can you hear me now? Is it much better
Yeah,
from your end?
yeah, it's much better for my end. I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's just do a quick introduction to others I have on the stage. Um, yeah. So Amaka, just go ahead. I introduced you earlier, right, as a UX researcher, but maybe you have more to say. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and just tell us if you have any experience, using a gift card exchange platform, Amaka.
Okay, thank you, Mav. Okay, my name is Amaka. Just like Mav has introduced me, I am a UX consultant. And I think that's basically all for now.
Oh, okay. Okay. So have you used a gift card exchange platform before, Amaka? I don't
Yes,
know,
I
but
have. I've used one before.
oh, okay, okay. All right, so I think there's actually like a network delay, but it's okay. Can you just give us like can you just walk us through like what the experience was like? What were you trying to achieve in the first place, like, and how did why did you even get a gift card, or I don't know, how did this happen?
So I think basically I filled a particular questionnaire. I did something. I just did like a survey, and at the end of the day, I got a gift card. So I had to trade in my gift card and collect, like,
And get
use
the
it
cash?
for. I traded it in for
Yes.
money basically, because
Oh, okay.
I couldn't use it here because of the type of gift card I got. So I just had to trade it for cash. So that's how I used the
Oh,
gift card platform.
oh, right, right. Okay. So, and which platform did you use? Can you remember?
Can't remember which one again. No, I'm not sure.
Ah, okay.
Just that's been a while, a
Okay,
long time
okay.
ago.
All right. So I think Steve, we have Steve. So Steve, can you just go ahead and just introduce yourself? Steve will be brainstorming with us here. So Steve, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh yeah. So welcome. Right. So
Thank you.
Steve is a senior software engineer. I've known Steve for quite a while now, and yeah, just Steve, give us like a better introduction. Tell us about yourself. What you do, where you work, if you can disclose that, and yeah, just go ahead.
Okay, yeah. My name is Steve, and I'm a backend engineer, a full-time software engineer in general. And yeah, so I've been working mostly on the backend for the most part, and currently I work with Ivory Pay, okay, which is a cryptocurrency payment gateway, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I do.
Oh, nice, nice, amazing. I mean, that's an interesting profile, and I know you have been doing this for quite some time. So I strongly believe you should have used a gift card exchange platform in the past, right?
Okay. Well, no, I haven't. I haven't yet.
Oh, okay, okay. All
Mm.
right. So, yeah, we're trying to understand this. We came up with this idea, just to have a brainstorming session, and this isn't something we've built before. So we're trying to understand, the workflow. At least now we understand what a gift card, is used for, right, in the first place, and we also understand, why people even like have gift cards, right? Because I was asking myself, okay, why don't you just like send money to someone instead of sending them a gift card? Right? What's the benefit? So it seems like you can actually get a gift card. The value of a gift card sometimes will be more than the amount used in purchasing that gift card, right? And when you sell it, you can then convert it to like the physical amount. So I think it depends. It depends on who is issuing the gift card. I guess so, but I believe there are several benefits, and that is why we have people send gift cards and of course exchange gift cards on these exchange platforms. Right, and these are some of the things we have, seen. People actually get, these gift cards because they can use that to get discounted purchases, right? Promotion. So retailers basically use them for, basically setting promotions. So kind of like promoting some products and giving you gift card so you can, purchase those items. Or maybe the gift card will be tied to, being able to purchase a specific kind of product. I'm just, giving my assumptions here. So and yeah, so giving out gifts, fundraising and donations. I found this on the website. Cashless transactions, which kind of makes sense, and for marketing and promotions. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Samuel? Samuel still here? Oh, okay. Steve?
Yes, I am here. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear
All
me
right.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. So, Samuel, I mean, looking at this, what do you think so far? I think the next thing we should be looking at doing is trying to probably understand how would you approach this. Looking at someone from your background and experience, Samuel.
Approach a solution like this.
Yeah, yeah, of course, approach a solution like this.
Well, we have to. So basically, the platform is meant to. We have to define what the platform does. What is the platform going to do? What action is the platform going to enable? That's the functionalities. Then, of course, we need to identify the people that we are designing, we are building a platform for. So, who are the target audience? That will be very important as well. Then, of course, so this is a brainstorming session, so we're not going to do any research like survey or interviews and all that. But
Yeah.
we need to also understand like what are those people looking out for. So we can do that by checking reviews because most gift card platforms are mobile apps. So it's very going to be very easy to check reviews on Play Store or the App Store. Check for people's feedback, people's complaints. Check for 1 star, 2 star reviews. Then take those reviews to improve the solution that we're trying to create here.
Okay, so you mentioned a couple of things, and I think from everything you said, you kept mentioning reviews. So you need to actually look at like some existing applications and then, try to look at the reviews at least to
Yes.
understand what you are going to try to do better, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, and also define what the platform is going to, the function, the purpose of the platform. Like, what is platform doing exactly? It's a gift card platform, yes, but is it trying to, is the platform buying cards? Is it selling cards? Is it doing both? Is there other um, value or services that the platform is providing? So I believe those questions are very important as well.
Okay, okay. Steve, let's also know, from your end. I mean, what do you think? So, yeah, I think it boils down to questions. Basically, that's what Samuel is telling us. So we need to understand, like, what exactly is the platform doing? Yeah, I mean, that's the major question. So, what do you think from your angle, Steve?
Okay, yeah, from my own end, it's pretty similar. I would still look at what we're offering or what the product will be offering in general. Okay, and the target audience. Okay, but I think primarily I'll be focusing on what the features of the product would be and also the challenges because for gift card exchanges platform, I know it's one platform that I've seen or one trade that I've heard a lot of people get scammed on. You get so it's that part is a major issue. All right. So the question is, I am not sure personally because I haven't used the gift card before. So I don't know if it's possible to verify whether a gift card has been, used before. But the point is, somebody is selling the gift card to you, and even if it has not been used, the person still has the gift card at their location, right? With them, they can still use it, right? I guess you can still use it. I'm not very sure how how it works completely. Right. I don't know if it comes as maybe some sort of like a discount code or something like that, a promo code or so in that fashion. All right. But the thing is that you could still get scammed and it can actually be an issue. All right. So we need to know that. And the question is, are we doing this as a platform for buyers to meet sellers, or are we doing it as our own business where we are the buyers and also the seller? This the seller you get. So
Yeah,
if you're having it as a merchant customer kind of platform, you get
yeah.
it's easy for people to or it makes it harder to manage scams, right? Because somebody can buy from or sell an already used gift card to somebody, right, and stuff like that. So I think that's like that's like the biggest problem to solve if anybody can crack that part.
Oh, okay, okay. So that sounds very smart. Looking at the angle of single vendor and multi vendor, which is like instead of having people just sell to each other, you have like the platform manage the transaction in a should I say in a centralized fashion because then you can manage if this gift card has been used and someone is just trying to sell it or not. Those kind of stuff. I think I really agree with you here. I believe that can also be managed, even if it's a multi-vendor system. But yeah, I mean, bringing that up in the first place would then make us, think of how best something like this should work. But yeah, let's start off with the very first question here. From Samuel. What is the platform doing exactly? I think this is a very important question because this would kind of like set the pace for what we are trying to build, right? Yeah, and I'm going to take down some of the things that I'm thinking of right now because I did, some googling while Steve was telling us about some other things, some other questions here, right, based on his consent, which makes sense. So from my research, I'm seeing. I mean, this is a quick research, so please it's not very detailed. And remember, this is a brainstorming session. So I'm seeing a couple of things here in terms of the features. I'm going to list them out, and Samuel, maybe you can also help me out here. So the first one is for listing and trading. Now, when they say listing, I think it means someone can literally just come in and say, okay, I have this, gift card, and this is the price. I want to sell it, right? Or this is the value of the gift card, and this is the price that I'm selling, right? So I think that is that is gift card listing. So I don't know, maybe if it's a single vendor, then the single the platform itself or the owners of this platform will be doing the listing. If it's multi-vendor, then it means we can have multiple people do the listing. All right. So yeah, I mean that's what I think. Okay, so I think Amaka is back. Yeah, so Amaka, if you want to contribute, feel free to also like unmute yourself and add your 2 cents. Yeah, so but for now we have the gift card listing and trading. We have I can see um, gift card verification. Now I have no idea what this is, so let me quickly read through what I can see here. So it says to prevent fraud, the platform may offer gift card verification service to ensure the validity and balance of the listed gift card. Makes sense. Yeah. So I think Steve, this is exactly what you're trying to point out. Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So we have this. The first thing here was the gift card listing and trading, and from what I see here, it says the platform allows users to list their unused or partially used gift card. Okay, now that is very tricky because when you say partially used gift card, um, it means you can actually have a gift card and then probably use a portion of it and sell the remaining portion. If I understand what this is, Samuel, what do you think about that? I know we've not used it before. You said you've not
Yeah,
used
I have no, but I
Yeah.
think that would make sense. I think that should be visible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, Amaka, you want to say something? Go ahead, please.
No, I wanted to say that okay, we can also have the I think escrow payment feature where more or less it's put in a hold until we are verified on both ends that the card is still visible, it still has funds in it
Yeah, it
and it
still has
hasn't been
funds in it.
used. But I don't know
Uh,
about partially using the coupon that comes with a gift card and leaving some inside because I know that various brands have their own gift cards. Apple has, AWS has, so we don't know how like they all function differently. So now we have to be sure about how these gift cards function so that when they are
yeah,
selling it, we should be able to identify what challenge will come with it.
yeah. That's actually like a nice point because I believe most well, should I call them vendors? So I believe most vendors would
Or
have their
merchants.
own okay, or merchants. I believe they would have their own like their own ways of setting these things up. There's a noise coming from I think Amaka, that's your end. Yeah. So I think they would have their
Okay,
ways of.
sorry, let me mute myself.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I think they would have like different ways of having these things work. So that's something we really need to look into. I've never seen an AWS gift card. I think, but I have seen pictures of an Amazon gift card. I think that's what Amaka was referring to there. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
Amazon
Amazon.
gift card. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So
Yes,
I
Amazon.
okay. Yeah. So for the secure transaction thing, it says the platform provides a secure and reliable payment gateway to facilitate transactions between buyers and sellers, and this will definitely ensure that both parties' information and funds are protected. Yeah. So that makes sense. That makes sense, and I think that is I see that as oh boy. Okay. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Let's move on to let's move on to something else. So I'm also seeing gift card verification. Yeah, I can see gift card verification. Um, but Samuel, I think this is exactly what I think it's very similar to what. Oh, I took that down already. Oh, sorry about that. So we already have gift card verification. I'm seeing user profile and ratings. So what do you think would be the benefit of user profile and ratings, Samuel?
Well, if it's we're going to use an escrow system, even if it's not an escrow system, basically when we have people who are verified, it increases the trust. Just like platforms like Airbnb or even Binance P2P system, with ratings and having a profile, people can better would be able to trust certain profiles over others who have better track record of delivering good services and basically whatever they are offering is exactly what you get. So yeah, it's very important, and it goes a long way to build credibility.
Oh, nice. Okay, Steve. Steve, what do you have to say about this?
Okay, I think in this case that means somewhere you must be talking about the multiple merchants on the platform. All right. Something like how
Yeah.
we have it on the same way we have it on using this process the same way we have it on something like Binance. But the issue here is the whole verification process and how do you ensure that the person who has sent the details or the gift card, because they still have it in their possession, right? But they sent it over to you. Okay, so how you want to verify that it has not been used yet, all right? You're just verifying. If there was a way to verify, then you verify that it has not been used. But the question is that you have not used it yet, right? So, but how do you stop that person who sent it from not
From not using it.
using it eventually right before you within a short space of time? Maybe you already somewhere trying to buy something on Amazon. Somebody on
Okay, so I think
verify
yeah.
that.
Samuel, can you hear Steve?
I can hear Steve a bit is cracking, like seriously, the glitches.
Okay.
Okay, I think yeah.
Yeah, I think it left. Okay, okay. So Steve, I think there's something wrong with yeah, with the network from your end. So at some point we lost you. Um, okay, so Steve, yeah, okay. So let's take it from here. Probably, Steve, once you're back, you can unmute yourself and, of course, let us know. Yeah, I think Samuel, we are talking about the user profile and rating, and I think you're right when you actually say it helps, build trust and credibility, within the community. I definitely see that. When you have, but Samuel, I'm sure you know that ratings can also be manipulated. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, it can be manipulated, but the platform can then set up measures and strategies to curb that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that the the concept of having the ratings and the profile is not useful in a platform like this. Now, alternatively, what we could do is that, because there was this issue that Steve raised about when the gift card has been sold, like the sale has happened, so it has been
Yeah.
transferred to the next person. But the person who sold the gift card still has the gift card details. So the person can still move on to use that gift card even after selling it. So a situation like that, I think it become very tricky. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it will actually become very tricky, and I'm actually looking at the fact that even on I mean from what I've heard, right? From a lot of amazing big platforms, right? Even Amazon, we hear about people talking of you know um, others trying to buy some whether purchase rating or buy rating. I don't know how it works, but yeah, a lot of people have come up with complaints where they say this platform is actually the ratings we're saying they are fake. I think it's called
Yeah,
fake reviews. Yeah, so you get a lot of fake
yeah,
reviews, and
Yes, they do that a
yeah,
lot.
okay.
yeah. Same
So
thing on
I think that
freelancing platforms too.
Oh, okay. So I think what we can actually do in such scenarios to say the company, right, or the platform would then be responsible for trying to ensure that they will try their best to ensure the credibility of those reviews and feedbacks on their platform, because if you come to think about it, it will be I mean, it's something you expect that should happen, right? We have humans using this platform, so I don't think you should say people. I don't think you should say people will never do that. People will
I think it can be
definitely try to do that.
avoided.
Of course they will.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm also seeing analytics and reporting. What do you think? What do you think this feature would bring into such platform?
Well, it depends. Are we analyzing and reporting for those selling gift cards, or is it analytics and report for the platform itself?
Okay, so I think that makes sense. So I think it's okay. So from what I see here, because I actually took this, from my quick search. So I just discovered that this. Okay, I think this is focused on the transactions, earnings. So earnings would definitely be for mostly for the users. Amaka, are you saying something? can you mute yourself when you're not speaking,
No,
please?
I'm not.
Okay, yeah. All right. So earnings would primarily be for like the user base, right? To show them like, okay, you have sold this is the amount you have in your dashboard, stuff like that. And I think transactions will basically be um, for the user, for the platform, sorry, where you are able to like measure the amount of transactions that have been made, in a day, in a week, in a month, uh, based on how the software or how the platform works. So yeah, yeah. So I think it goes both ways, Samuel. I think it will definitely go both ways. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
what I'm
what?
thinking is that,
Okay.
all right. So I think we need to, when we've discussed the features, we'll now
Yeah.
have to streamline everything into a feasible MVP that can then move on into development, into the product development process. What do you think?
Exactly, exactly. I mean that makes sense. I'm currently seeing like a lot of features. I'm just trying. I'm even selecting, right? So let me just go ahead and put in like some of the things I can see here. I can see someone is saying referral programs. I don't think this is like a big deal for the system. This can always be like additions, right? That can always come in later. I'm seeing customer support, yeah, and of course I think this is kind of like a standard. You can even start off with like a chat, just to yeah, I believe that can actually work. I'm seeing gift card value calculator. So I don't know the major benefit of this, but from what I can see here, it's saying that the platforms puts in the value calculator to help users determine the worth of their gift card based on factors like brand, right, the balance, and the demand. So I think this is actually something to think of. Yeah, because if
Yeah,
the value of the
I
gift
think it's
card
a
is based
thing.
on. Oh, okay, go on, Samuel.
No, I was just trying to like, yeah, I think that's a thing. I also saw that on a platform called Card Cash,
Okay,
cardcash.com. So basically, you get to put in the name of the store, and the I think with that, they would tell you the value of some sort of the card you're with. Yeah, you're putting the name of the store, then you put in an amount, then you can search for the card. You get to know how much
okay,
you can get out
okay.
of it.
All right, so that makes sense. I was actually thinking every gift card you
Okay.
own would have like a specific value. Amaka, please go on. You want to say something? Go ahead.
I think okay, when I last traded a gift card, there are different rates in the gift cards, and then they each have their individual value because I think the way they are arranged, I remember then I had gold and silver and something. So a gold card value is different from a silver card value, and then the trading rates are different as well. So one can be higher, one can be lower because I know then the card I traded it was $500, but when I was trading it, I had to trade it at a lower amount. I didn't get exact 500. I got about 450, 460.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's a different angle. I never thought about the possibilities of. I was thinking that every gift card would have like a specific you know value, and that's exactly how much it will sell. So it means that those buying at are basically buying at a lesser amount, so they can also make more profits on top. Now, I'm not very sure if it's just like a general thing or it's specific to the platform you're buying from, because from the way it sounds, it seems like the price is then like if it's that subjective, I think every platform would not be doing exactly the same thing. I mean, we just saw like the price, the gift card value calculator, but now we're not sure if the calculator thing would be like the same formula, if I can use that term, right, in every single company that is trying to build an exchange platform, right? So my assumption is that it's going to be different depending on the company doing this, and yeah, that's just my general assumption here. Steve, I think Steve is with us now. Steve, do you have anything to say about that? The gift card value calculator thing. Hello, Steve. Hello, Steve. Okay.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right. So, oh yeah,
Can you
go
hear
on,
me now?
Steve. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I think the value calculator would be good. Yeah, I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
important because even on our own on our own platform, right? We have an ability to or the feature that allows people to check our rates because we're using black market rates and things like this. People would want to know how much you're offering to them since they are other platforms too. So they want to know ahead of time how much you know you know the current balance of their gift card is worth on your platform.
Right. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So I think now that we have been able to at least understand some of the, at least we now know what a gift card is. The purpose of purchasing gift cards and some of the basic features. Right. I think this is even beyond basic. Right. So some of the features of a gift card exchange platform. We have the gift card listing and trading, which is I would say purchase. Right. Yeah. So gift card listing and purchase. We have the gift card verification, we have secure transaction, user profile and rating, analytics and reporting, gift card value calculator. So ideally, when we build, given how we build at both click, when we build, we tend to, start up with trying to, put this thing into a PROD, but we can't do that right now. I mean, a PROD has several parts. We need to first make sure we conduct some research, ask questions, from people that are actually buying and selling gift cards, right? We ask a lot of questions. We, do a lot of research. I mean, that's where Amaka comes in, and Samuel also coming to, assist in such processes. And yeah, when we're done with that, I think the next thing would be to then streamline things into a feasible MVP, which is going to be like the starting point of the product. We are all aware of that. We are actually supposed to be thinking of coming up with the PRD, but that is not something we will be doing on this call, right? Instead, we have a different session tomorrow. The first 30 minutes of that session, Samuel would actually walk us through, trying to create a simple, very basic PROD. We actually have a masterclass. There's a masterclass at Techie's Garage for that, right? Developing a PROD, a robust PROD. But yeah, so tomorrow, the first 30 minutes of this session, Samuel will just, work with me to create something very minimal. But for now, I think most of us here are actually expecting some, sort of engineering, right? So yeah, I think that's where myself and Steve would have some conversations around this. So Steve, I don't know, are you ready? Let's have some engineering conversations around working on this. Hello, Steve.
Okay, yeah, we.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right. So this is
by the
going.
way, sorry, just
Go
want to
ahead.
ask. So,
Yeah.
right now I had to switch to my mobile device.
Oh, okay.
Does this guys they have a mobile app for this?
No, they do not have StreamYard. Do not have a mobile app. So no.
Okay,
Um. Yeah. All right. That's fine. I'll be sharing my screen. I hope you can see my screen very well. From your mobile device, Steve.
okay, yes, yes, I can see it.
Okay. Okay. So just give me a minute, and I'm going to be sharing. Um, I think someone just joined again. That was Samuel. Okay. So I'm going to be sharing my browser. Hold on a second. Yeah. Let me quickly do that. Okay, so I'm just going to create a new file right here. All right, so what we are going to do is, a very quick and I would say short. We're not going to like go so much into the detail. This is more like a technical session to look into. At least we'll pick one of the services. Let's start with like gift card verification. So one of those features, we're just going to wrap a feature around. We're going to wrap a feature and define it as a service, right? And try to do some things around that. How do you go about your engineering process, Steve? So, you're trying to build something, for the first time. How do you go about trying to, work on that?
Okay, generally, I just look at things from the objects that are going to be involved, right? Um, Here, I'm not looking at maybe the system design. I might start with maybe something like the the activity diagram. Might be where I might start from, or a UML, because I'm not. It's in the process of looking at the objects involved in the system that I might start behind this, like in the back of my mind, start thinking about what other, maybe we'll be having a queue, having to do polling or whatever, other sort of communication, between the objects that I would like to follow, maybe asynchronous, communications, or maybe synchronous approaches. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's I would actually follow, a similar strategy, right? The objects, understand the entities, understand like the functionalities of each and each one of those entities. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do, in this session, and I believe for those of you watching, I believe you are going to learn something from this from this strategy. So basically, what we've done earlier is, we understand like the requirements, right? So let's assume this is from a customer or a client. We have, asked a few questions and we understand some of those, requirements. What we did was not enough, right? In a real environment, you have to do more, ask more questions, try to understand. Of course, it's an agile environment, which means you can always go back and forth and try to fix things. But it's good to also make sure you have, a solid idea of what you're trying to do, so that when there are changes, you understand that the changes are not like breaking changes that will destroy like a whole, or like an entire module that you've already built. Okay, so I mean, such scenarios will definitely play out at times, but yeah, it's always good to ask enough questions. Okay, so we've done requirement gathering, we understand the requirements now. The next thing I would say, okay, we should try to understand the goals and constraints. And this would definitely come from, what we would have in our PROD, which are things like, understanding the goals of the solution, the objective of the system, right? And trying to understand some of the constraints, such as, okay, the budget of the client, the time, which is the duration that was assigned to your team, right? A client can say, we want this in 2 months or 3 months. And you know the capacity of the team on ground. If you're the one working on this alone, you know your capacity. So you know how long it will take, to implement something like this, whether it's front end or back end. You also understand, the technology stack that you'll be using to build this. So this is the point where you try to also understand those things, right? So I call them goals and constraints. You define the goals clearly, and then you mention some of the constraints, on ground, that are going to fall under the budget, time, and the technology, right? And even down to things like the scalability, the performance, right? You need to understand, how do we want the system to actually perform, right? Sometimes the customers are not, sure of such, performance requirements. So I think you as an engineer need to also try to, make them see this, right? And then I would dive into identifying components. Right now, we are going to dive into identifying these components, which are not, I think I would say these are not all the components eventually, right? As you can see, we don't have like a notification service here, but we know it's very important, right? For sending out emails, right from user verification, down to maybe a successful transaction, right? Notification is very important. Authentication is not here, which is also very important. So I'm going to simply add authentication, notification, right? Which would contain both email and then maybe SMS, if you want to include that, right? These days, some companies actually include WhatsApp notification. What do you think about WhatsApp notification, Steve? And why do you think some companies go with WhatsApp notification over SMS or email?
Okay. What I would say about WhatsApp notification, I think it's a lot more affordable. Right, I've received OTP via WhatsApp before one time. Not like something at the vendor code or maybe for a transaction, just OTP. right? And I think it's the speed. It was faster, and yeah, it was faster, and it's also a lot more cheaper, right? When I once looked it up, it was cheaper than SMSs and the rest.
Yeah, yeah, and I quite agree with you as well. So I think that's the major reason why a lot of companies are looking into this. Recently, I think I received, I think it's from Flutterwave. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, but I think it was from Flutterwave. Okay, so yeah, so these are some vital part of the system we did not mention, but we know that we really need to look into that. Okay, so what we are going to do right now is let us start off with the authentication, the simple services that will take us a few minutes to design a strategy, like a pattern. There are so many ways to set up authentication. Most platforms would want to go with third-party providers such as AWS Incognito, AWS Cognito, right? Not Incognito, yeah, not the browser thing. AWS Cognito user pool. Um, what is the other? I think there's one called Auth0. Yeah, I've used Auth0 in the past, so some platforms would want to use that option, or we can simply go with the uh, what is that called? We can go with the regular username password pattern, right? So in order not to waste much time, let's just do that. I'm going to do some writing here. So we have the authentication service. Let's just call that the authentication service. Now that we have gathered some details, right? Which, as I said earlier, they're not enough, but this is good enough for us to at least build something. So if we have our authentication service and we simply want to work with like username and password, or maybe email and password, right? So we have assumed that we simply want to work with like email, for example, let's say a@gmail.com, right? And we have like password, which is, of course, you have to define like how exactly you want your password strengths, to look like. Okay, but now we know we just need username, the email and password. Let's try to design a very simple, system around this. So, Steve, from your experience, an authentication service, we are looking at what are the major functionalities, like the functions that we're looking at for authentication. You can just mention them, and I'll take them down. Steve.
Okay, well, for a very basic one, you
Yeah.
basically be doing maybe you sign up to the registration process, and we're going to be, if like you mentioned, if we're looking at password strengths, okay, we can have that, but we can have that check too, and then the next one to do is to send email out to verify your password, sorry, to verify your email address, right? Okay, we might want to do that. So email verification, and of course, we want to be able to, if we're using maybe Bearer token, we can use generate when you log in eventually, assuming your verification process went well. Oh, before I forget, sometimes you can have a case where the person did not receive the verification email, so we want to resend a verification email to them. Case where they say they did not receive, so they can you know resend a verification email. So another thing I want to do,
Sorry.
assuming
Sorry.
all
Go
of
ahead.
these, okay, okay. So assuming this goes fine, if verification goes fine, and allow them to sign in, right? Using their email and the password that they use in signing up. So the next thing I want to do
Okay.
is login.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry, I apologize for that. I think you mentioned the sign up, verify email address, and resending the verification as well. The verification
Mm,
message, probably if they did not see the
yeah,
previous one, and we have login. Did I miss anyone?
mm. No, no, no. Those are like all the
Okay.
yeah, but,
Okay.
but there could be a lot more, like maybe the case where you forgot your password when you're trying to sign it. Like, well, I think this would be for a very simple
Yeah.
prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great. So this would be enough for a very simple prototype. You sign up, you verify your email address, you resend verification. Now, note that these are basically what I would call user actions, right? So these are basically actions. Let's just call them the actions. And based on these actions, there are so many details that you can choose to dive into, right? So, for example, if someone is trying to sign up, you can actually create, and this is what Steve mentioned earlier when he said the activity diagram, right? It's an activity, so you have to enter some of the inputs on your front end. It goes to the back end, you get some response, so you're still following the activity of creating an account, right? And you then proceed to the next stage, which is to verify the email address, right? You verify the email address, and it says, okay, now go back to the web page and log in. When you log in, probably there are some other processes, upload your bio data. This is a platform where you do exchange. So, you have to put in some details, at least. I don't know the level of, I would say KYC that some of these platforms will need to do. But yeah, the sign up process can be way, detailed or, more than what you're seeing here. But, at a very basic level, you are able to sign up, you are able to verify the email address, you are able to send verification messages, and you are also able to log in at the end, right? And yeah, yeah. So I think this is good, right, for our authentication service. This is good. But I have one question here. So let's assume someone has logged in and they're currently using the platform, and they're trying to perform some other transactions. They are currently in their dashboard. What strategy would you recommend, Steve? For um, verifying that session. The user is still logged in and the user is the one sending this request to the backend, right? If you have a system where you have like a separate backend or like a series of microservices, for example, what strategy would you adopt here?
Okay, so if I had a series of accesses in this case, I'll have a an notification layer that's sitting right in front of it. For instance, the cognito, for instance, would be
Yeah,
something that I want to place it right in front of every other service. So it will just be right in front, like a um like a middleware, for instance, okay, between maybe the gateway into the API, my entire API, and the rest of the services, right? So that might be one approach I
okay.
might go for.
Okay. Do we have any other approach? So let's say it's a single, like a three tier. Okay, let's say it's a layered architecture, right? So we're looking at here. What approach would you recommend?
Okay, yeah, the approach that I would typically take, we maybe just use JWT. It's pretty common. Okay, so that's one thing I'd use, and then I'd have um, check each time somebody's making a request. I would use, expect them to pass in an authorization header at their request, and then I'll check for that, and also check if the token is still valid. All right, that's depending on if we're implementing a refresh token, or if we're not doing something like that. If the original token which we you know sent over to the front end when they logged in, right, has expired. I mean that just ends it. They would have to log in again, right? Otherwise, if it has not expired, I mean we just check the DB. Of course, the JWT token would have encode some of the user related information, right? At least some of the
Yeah.
basic ones, maybe something like the user UI or basically user ID in the system, right? So once we're able to identify the user, right, we decode, we verify the JWT token, we decode it for the data, and then um, yeah, we just check for the data, look into the database and check if the person is still sorry, if it's an existing user, right? Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we
yeah.
just have the.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, go on. I can hear you.
Okay, so what you might want to do an approach, especially if you have series of services or still on your retail architecture, right? You
Yeah,
can have these other things in between. before you perform the actual action they want to, perform, right? So you might want to have this, attached to maybe the current user information. You might want to attach it to um the request itself, the request object itself, and just have it as a key value pair there on the request object itself. All right.
Okay.
So
Okay, so I'm just going to say, we have like a middleware that you can always use to perform verification based on the request coming in. Now, this is not a specific action, because you're not going to be like, sending a request to like some endpoints, to just do verification. I mean, you can implement it that way, but maybe you just want to have a middleware to say when any transaction is coming in, just run through this middleware to ensure that this user session is still valid, that this user is still a valid user in our system, just to, because there are scenarios where you have somebody, steal a token into a different browser and they are still able to, they can continue performing a particular request, which is why we also advise, backend engineers to ensure that if you're working with JWT, you should have there should be like a date of, expiration, right? The token should be able to expire at some certain point, whether it's 7 days, 2 days, 1 week, 1 month. You should be able to set something there. All right. So this is more like a middleware, and yeah, I mean, we have our authentication service at a very basic level, for sign up, verifying the email address, or having an action that can basically resend the verification, message. And I think there are also ways to, go. You can actually use like a single action, right, for this instead of having two. But yeah, I mean, we can just work with this for now. The next thing, there will be a notification service. Now that is also quite straightforward. I think if you get to look at it, you're sure that you're going to be performing a bunch of notifications. So for example, I'm going to be classifying like this into that kind of service, right? Because when you want to send an email, we're trying to we're trying to say everything here is a notification. We're not referring to like the notification on your mobile device, like sending out SMS. So yeah, so I would simply just say, send. We can actually have multiple endpoints, but let's just assume we're using email here, right? So let's just say for the notification service, let's just say we're using like email, right? Maybe something running on SNS, right, which is Amazon SNS. So sorry, Amazon Simple Email Service, SES. So we can actually just have a function, maybe like a JavaScript project, some Express.js service. Its job is basically to send email, right? So I'll simply say send emails. Is it possible, Steve, to have a single, like a single method or something, or a single service that sends every type of email? Every type of email, from sign up email, down to transaction email and all that. Looking at the structure of an email message, what do you think?
okay, yeah, I think it's possible to have a single service that does that. All right. Or
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's possible. I think I prefer to use that approach and just have method on it. Assuming it's a class, and just have methods on it. All right, that would
yeah,
because there are setups that need to be done. So there will be like a private, assuming it's a class, there'll be like a private method for that I might call send, and then maybe I might then have other methods for specific purposes, and the send itself would do the actual look, getting the right templates name and composing it, stuff like that, and
yeah,
having the
yeah.
recipient set up. So the
Yeah,
entire setup will be done in send.
yeah, so that makes sense. So I mean, if you can use a single service to achieve this, in our example, then of course, this is a simple way to go about this. And we have a single action, right? Send email. We include like the subject, the recipient, the body, and the templates, which can even be like a JSON data that will then have like some values to point at the specific template, and probably pass in some parameters like the name of the person, some kind of details. So I think it depends on how you choose to set up your abstractions around that. But yeah, this is good. And I think this actually makes sense. All right, so looking at the next thing we have here, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so we can just move on to, talking about. Let's see. 1 minute. Yes. Okay, I think I have to. Um, yeah. All right. So I have to. Let's see. Let's talk about the other services here. We're just going to pick one, right? Because it's already past 9. We're just going to look at. Which of these should we look at? Gift card verification. So what we have here is that to prevent fraud, the platform may offer gift card verification service to ensure the validity and balance of the listed gift cards. All right. So looking at that, what do you think we could do? Yeah. What do you think we could do, Steve?
Okay. What I've observed, right, is different companies issue gift card, and they have different ways of verifying the gift card, right? So, and one thing we might want to do on this would be to automate the process of verify, this gift card. Okay, so the owner of a gift card puts the details of the gift card, I guess, and then we sort of like verify it one way or the other. Now, this can actually be a problem because I don't know if this platform offer any API, to third parties, that allows third party platforms to verify uh, gift cards without actually using them. You get.
Okay. Okay.
So I really don't know. And the thing is, different platforms issue gift cards, and if we're supporting multiple vendors out there, like multiple, say Amazon, Google, and the rest, right? Excuse me. The thing is, we might need to as in the mode of verification. Assuming they all expose third-party APIs for verification, right? The mode of or the data that needs to be sent out will be different. Okay. So we
Yeah.
might need to use some sort of like a design pattern, provider design pattern, or strategy design pattern, sorry, or something like this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, that
So
that that that, that makes sense. So, which means we're basically looking at, if we look at what we have here, um, we're basically looking at, a single entry point. If you come to think about it, so you actually upload anytime you upload like a gift card, the verification there will be like a verification call, right? Let's just call that verify gift card, right? Gift card. So there's a call to like the backend system, and the backend system will basically expect to see like, okay, what kind of card is this? Is it like an Amazon card, right? If it's an Amazon card, okay, so these are the specific details we need from the card, right? This is going to be like internal, right, in the platform. Is it? I don't know. I don't know which other service am I going to put in here. I am simply going to say like Walmart. So I think I've seen that like a Walmart card or something. So if it's a Walmart card, okay, these are some extra details that we are that we know, right, that we might need. I think I might have to. Yeah, let's see. Okay. All right. So if this is a Walmart card, there are some extra details that we might need, and when we grab some of these details, we simply want to then call the third party the third party verification service, as you mentioned, because they own these cards and they have the details, or they have the patterns to verify this thing. So if they are providing an API, this internal service would have to then call a third party service, right? That will do that. And the job of the third party service would simply be to like pick some of those details here, like the number or maybe some extra details to perform that verification. So we're not going to sketch out like the flow, but at least we understand what we expect, right? The verification service is meant to be like some sort of class or function that can simply collect like the inputs from the cards, right, and then make some third-party calls to do some verification, right? That is what we think should happen because these systems or these platforms have their ways of performing these verifications. All right, so we're going to stop here for tonight. in tomorrow's session, remember the first 30 minutes we're going to like focus on the system, the PROD, and the remaining 30 to 40 minutes, which is like 1 hour plus, we're simply going to dive into more details here. For example, we'll just touch on some points around the gift card listing and trading, right? Looking at the kind of actions and mostly actions. We're trying to focus more on the actions, right? As you can see, this is not like a single system design session where we just try to, put in the actions, talk about like deploying to the cloud or this or that. We're not trying to do that here. We usually have those kind of sessions, but not for tonight, because we understand that the people that are using this material, especially the open source developers at Techies Garage, will be needing to understand like, how to basically flow from ideation and brainstorming down to development, right? So it's more like trying to walk you through on how you think about this. It's not an interview. It is not a system design interview. All right. So we're trying to, have like a proof of concept and possibly, write some, basic code, but we're not going to, we probably will not be writing code. But yeah, I mean, if you're able to design your system and, select an architecture and, even, dive into working with what you have here, design your API. If you have joined any of my session where we actually did API design, using tools like Stoplight Studio, I believe you have learned how we move from actions down to the the API design before we even then migrate from the API design that we have into some boilerplate code, right? Using code generation. If you want to have you want to learn how to do such things, let us know on the servers. If you're from the Top Universe server, the Techies Garage server, or the Better Copper server, let us know. Drop a message in the server in your general chat, and someone will pick it up and let us know, of course. All right. So yeah, for now we're going to stop here, and tomorrow we'll dive into more details. And yeah, thank you very much for joining, Steve. Thank you very much for joining, Amaka. Thank you, Bobby. I think I can see Bobby joined us very late, but Samuel is no longer on the stage. So thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you very much, Fega. You joined earlier, but I think the network glitch or something, I guess. Yeah, and super excited to see you guys on the stage with me. For some of you watching from the maybe you don't belong to any of the communities. What we are simply trying to do is to walk through the process of brainstorming, ideation, and down into the architecture, system design at a very high level, right? At a very high level. So yeah, and I appreciate you guys for showing up. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Have fun, and yeah, thank you very much, Steve.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Okay, yeah. So have a wonderful night, guys. Good night.
Good night.